Today we're going to remake Music for a Sushi Restaurant by Harry Styles. While doing that, I'm going to show you what effects to put on vocals to make them sound wide and around the head, how to combine brass synth sounds to sound like a real brass ensemble, and we're only going to use plugins that are free or come with Logic Pro. And if that wasn't enough, we're going to do it all in 1 hour. And at the end, you can download the final Logic Pro project and stems for free down below. Stopwatch, 3, 2, 1, go! Create a software instrument, change our BPM down to 107, change our synth sound to Alchemy, search bass, and select 70s classic synth bass. And record in the chords F sharp, E, a bar each, D sharp, D. Lovely chromatic movement. Q to quantize those. Functions, MIDI transform, fix the velocity. Select and operate. Now we have a lovely steady bass. Let's get rid of the delay, the reverb, reduce the cutoff a tiny bit, and lengthen the attack. And make sure you have the MIDI overlapping like this, or else you're going to have a really harsh transient. Just like that. So make sure it's a bit longer. Lovely and smooth. 5 minutes, 48 seconds. A super solid sub bass to get us going. Create a new software instrument. Change the synth to Ultrabeat, the drum machine. In our presets, drum kits, let's go for a solid Boutique 808. And record in a kick on every beat. 4 on the floor. Command A to select all those notes. Q to quantize. Now back in the synth, make sure we have our kick selected. And let's edit its envelope over here. And we're going to shorten its decay. A straightforward 808 kick. 9 minutes, 31 seconds. We're flying today. We should definitely have enough time for that huge brass section. Create a new audio track. Drag in our microphone. If you have maracas or shakers, record in. Ooh, the first half was pretty good. So Option, click and drag that across. And we can fade them over each other. Then Command D to duplicate the track for shaker B. Ooh, pan the second one fully right and pan the first one slightly to the left. If you don't have shakers, press O to open the loop browser, go to Instruments, click on Shaker, scroll down to Quincy Shaker 16th. You can click and drag that in if you want, and it'll do the exact same thing. Shift click to the top of those tracks, Shift Command G, and you've got a beautiful shaker or maraca group. Option C, shakers yellowy orange, kick yellow, bass red, 16 minutes, 9 seconds. Shakers are great for instantly adding groove. Create a new software instrument, record in A sharp and C sharp, G sharp and B, G and B, A sharp, F sharp and A. And these notes are going to help us with our vocals. So create a new audio instrument for BVA, Command D, the electric piano, to duplicate it. Option, click and drag down the MIDI, delete the lower notes on one, and delete the higher notes on the other one. Mute one of the notes and record in ba, 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 ba. Ooh, a bit rough. We can make it work. Double click, flex pitch, turn on flex, change from slicing to flex pitch, slide down to the notes, select all the notes, double click to pitch correct, and we can bring down the vibrato a little bit. Ba, ba. Command D for BVB. Ba, 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 ba. Not too bad. Tune again. Command D, BVC. Ba, ba, ba. I'm trying to breathe in different times each time. Keeps it mainly strong throughout. Tune again. Lovely. Let's try one more. Ba, 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 ba. Let's pan these around our head. Command D and up the octave this time. Whew, that is high. I actually sang the other harmony that time. I was thinking it was a bit too high. We'll keep that there, but let's sing the right line this time. Better that time. Command D, another one. Lovely. More vocals. Layers of vocals always sound great. Now let's try the other harmony line. Woo, super! And now that second harmony, up the octave. One last tune, mute the pianos, shift click to the top, shift command G for our BV group. In the mixing stage, we'll make sure all our transients are perfectly in line, and it will make it sound even better. EQ that group, just cut out some of the low mids, between 500 and 200, select our fade tool, fade them in and out, create a bus 5 with reverb, chroma verb. And the preset, chambers, orchestra chamber. And bring up the decay a tiny amount. And longer pre-delay. Gorgeous. Reverb always helps. Let's try one more bus. 30, modulation, chorus. Right around 200, full intensity. That's adding some nice stereo width and even more thickness to the vocals. Oh, we actually have to do one more. Nearly forgot. Let's try bus 29. Also modulation, phaser. Let's try the preset 10 stage phaser. Yeah. That sounds pretty cool. You could also automate the volume of the phaser if you wanted to. It still sounds a bit too clean, so let's try one more bus. Bus 10, distortion, distortion. Full tone level compensation, bring down the output and up with the drive. A little bit of grit always helps. 33 minutes, 47 seconds. That took so long. Create a new software instrument. White, open up the library, search brass, pop brass. And the brass goes like... That is a super melody line, but very difficult to play. Command D to duplicate the track. Open the library, search brass, full brass. Option click and drag down the MIDI, so we have the same MIDI, but Command A to select all the notes, functions, MIDI transform, humanize, and click select and operate. So now our full brass synth is going to have different velocities and hit at slightly different times to our pop brass, making it all sound a lot more alive. Already better. Command D, open up the library. Let's search for trumpets. Trumpet section, staccato. Option click and drag down the MIDI. Humanize that one as well. Sounds super interesting. And let's lower the volume of these doubles so we can mix them in together. Command D, library, tuba, tuba. Option click down, humanize. Command D, French horn. French horn section, legato. Option click and drag it down, humanize. Shift click, Shift Command G to make a brass group, open its EQ, and let's get rid of some of those honky frequencies. Yeah, that's gross. Brass sections always have so much honky frequencies. Gotta try and limit it a little bit. Throw on the bus reverb, tiny bit of the chorus. Let's make a new bus, 15, delay, tape delay, wet to full, and let's try and get a slapback delay going. The slapback delay also helps thicken it up. Makes it sound like there's even more players playing. It's improving. Select the trumpet staccato and the full brass. Shift Option up to bring them up an octave. Yeah, much better. Having the 2 octaves is so much better. Let's make it better again. Command D, the pop brass section, and that goes like... Nearly got it. Let's fix that. Layers, delay, chorus, and reverb always make a difference. That was difficult, but rewarding. 45 minutes, 53 seconds. Okay, now time to really speed up. Create a drummer track, turn off the kick, select follow, and follow the 808 kick. Section 1 of the hi-hat, and let's turn on the claps and the percussion. And a little bit softer while we're here. Sounds a bit timid. White, open up the library, change to hard rock, change this drummer, go back to the same drum settings. Yeah, a little bit more punch in that snare. Duplicate the 808 and record in a clap on the 2 and 4. Let's not quantize these so we have a nice flam effect. Option click up to make a snare as well, but make them hit a little bit later. And bring down the velocity a tiny bit. Now that's lovely and punchy. And while we're setting the rhythm, grab everything, Option, click and drag across. Command T to cut everything in the last bar. We can get rid of that, go to the kick, and in the last bar, we have 4 kicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, another 4, and a kick on the last beat. Perfect. Control B to bounce out the snare. Let's cut out 2 of those snare sounds. Command D, so we have 2 tracks, and let's line them up with the kicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. And we can alternate the volume of those a little bit. Go back to the brass, and its notes has to follow this pattern as well. Amazing! And Command T, the beefy group, just for the last beat. Perfect. 50 minutes, 2 seconds. This is going to be tight. Go to the 808 clap and record in something like that. Cue to quantize. Bring down the velocity of those a lot. And open up ultra beat. Select the open hi-hat and reduce its decay a good amount. Much better. And it was at this point I forgot to record in the main hi-hat. So let's do that now. Create a new software instrument, drum kit, producer kits, sunset, and record in a syncopated hi-hat. Cue to quantize and copy that across. If we 2-finger click on the pan, stereo pan, drag it from the bottom up to the top, but don't close it entirely, and drag it slightly to the left, maybe 23. Sounds pretty good. Option C, and color that yellow as well. Just after 52 minutes. Okay, we can do this. Create a new audio track. Go to the last bar in the first section and record in. Beautiful. And lots of on the ah. Now a few more. Lovely. Now it's harmony. Definitely need to tune a few of these. And now some of those up the octave. Shift click up to the top, Shift Command G for a whole group, some bus reverb, and some bus chorus, and some bus phaser. And let's pan them all around our head. Make sure they're all in time. Love it. 57 minutes, 22 seconds. Command D, so we have a double group. I'll record in.
You know I love you, baby.
We'll tune it later. Another one.
You know I love you, baby.
Bit more confident that time. Delete some of these extras. See if we can do it up the octave.
You know I love you, baby.
Beautiful. Last one.
You know I love you, baby.
Hey, sounds pretty good. And thankfully so, because it's time. Boom. Nice. Oh, it's always a great challenge trying to make software synths sound real. Having layers and making them hit at different times at different velocities really goes a long way to making it feel a little bit more human. But even with that, it's super important to have real sounds like your voice or maracas in the track to really make it feel alive. A huge shout out to my patrons over on Patreon. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you. All right, will we sing the lead vocal live? I had to be rude not to. Here we go. Woo! And if you want to learn how to make late night talking by Harry Styles, click right here. This video in particular has some great topics that are worth thinking about. So go on, click it. I have to be rude not to. Hope you're keeping well. Cheers.